Okay, hi everyone. Okay, as I was stepping into Victoria Junior College just now, a sense of nostalgia actually came over me, because I saw the students in your school uniforms, and I thought of myself 2 years ago, wearing the school uniform, carrying my backpack, and going to school. And these memories, and as I talk to the students now, treasure these memories as you are in school, because when I'm in army right now, I actually miss those times. And I just want to share with you one of the memories that I had in Victoria Junior College. One of the memories I had was actually in the auditorium, where there was a speaker who actually spoke on motivating the students to do well for A-levels. And because I myself, I don't really listen to these things. Yeah, and morning assemblies are times where I actually sit down on the chair and sleep. Yeah, and the only thing that I actually caught out from the entire speech was this. He actually gave the analogy of the XX4 and RX8. And you see that these two cars, the special thing about them is that they have X in the middle and they have numbers at the side. And he used this analogy to show to the students and my batch that we too are like these cars. And you too can choose to be either one of these cars. You can choose to be SX4, or you can choose to be an RX8. And he used this to also show that their RX8 is so much more glamorous on the street compared to SX4. And we too should strive to become the RX8. And as I was thinking about that, me and my school friends were talking about what it really meant to be great and what we actually wanted to do for the rest of our lives. And as we were talking about that, this came to my mind. And for ages, my father, I know that he's not the guy in the picture, he's way too old as my father. Yeah, but my dad has been pressurizing me since I was young, and he's been telling me, Ben, if you don't get all the A's, you'll not be able to get to where you want to be in life. If you don't get all the A's, I will not buy you your next MacBook. And like this person, he says, A star, A star, A star, A? You mean you got an A? You didn't get an A star? And that was what my dad actually treated me for my past 10 years of schooling life. And that built my mindset to want to be an A student. And next, this was one of my other aspirations. I was talking to my classmates. And yes, we were all saying that, hey, you know what? As an art student in A13, we all wanted to be lawyers. And that was one of my aspirations, to be a badass out there, to go on stage, go to the courtroom, and just give it all out. Yeah. And after being a lawyer and studying law school, what I actually wanted to do was actually work at a bank. And not that I favor Standard Chartered above the other OCBC and other banks, but this is where my cousin works at right now. And I wanted to go there because of the prestige, of the money that was involved. And to me, that linked to the idea of being great. And we were just talking about this amongst my classmates, and it just came to my mind that, as an very idealistic person, maybe I'll get a Nobel Prize in the future if I actually strive for it. And we all wanted to retire in a very good house. And this was our aspirations as we were talking amongst my classmates. And another memory that I want to share with you guys as I was in Victoria Junior College was in 2010 when I went for the Global Young Leaders Conference. This conference changed my perspective of what it meant to be great in a way where I met with 200 people from different countries, different nationalities, different cultures. And they taught me something that in Singapore you'll never be able to learn. They taught me empathy. And this value of empathy lies when I was talking to a person from India. And that person, she told me about how in India, not everyone has a claim to education. Not everyone has a claim to clean water. And it taught me that I actually had many good things in Singapore that these people out there don't have. And I roomed with a Finnish and a Chinese American during this conference, and we talked about many different things, one of which was on our education system. And as I was talking to the Finnish person, he was telling me using this analogy of a snowflake. in Singapore, if you were to learn about a snowflake, you will just read it from the textbook, and the teacher will say, no, that's the snowflake. Okay, read it and memorize it. Okay, but the Finnish person, what he told me was that they were able to actually go out into the field, into the places, to actually experience the snowflake to themselves. And that created a connection with them to what they were learning. And they were not just reading from the textbook itself, but they were learning from nature, and they felt a connection with it. And as I came back to Singapore, I actually became quite a radical person because I skipped school. I know some of my teachers are here. And in J2, I actually skipped quite a lot of school because I was doing my own entrepreneurship stuff. And I decided to use my project work idea. And what my idea was is to amalgamate all your single credit cards in your wallet together to create a single application on an iPhone. And right now, DBS is actually doing that. They came out with this credit card for One, and they're using the near-field communication system to actually allow your mobile phones to be able to pay and use the credit card there. And so that was my idea at the start. And so I decided that why not start something? Why not just go out there, push the limits, push the boundaries? And so as I went for my Singaporean Speak conference and the competition that was mentioned just now, there was this person by the name of Eileen Fong, and she brought me to Founders Drinks. So Founders Drinks is actually organized by E27, and when I was there, I realized that, hey man, I'm the youngest guy there. And when I went there, everyone was very high-spirited, and they're like, hi, what's your name? Can I meet you? And they'll give you their name cards, and they'll tell you all about their companies and so on. And when I was there, I was like, I don't know what to speak to you because, you know, I'm just 17, I'm just a college student. But the thing that they encouraged me was that they realized that, hey, you know what, this was a 17-year-old college student coming for an really adult event that there were no students there, and everyone was so innovative, so high-spirited about their own companies. And they were saying that, they told me that, Benjamin, you know, it is really a pleasure to see you here, and it shows that our generation has not died yet. There are people in Singapore who actually still think about entrepreneurship, still think about innovation. And next up, I actually went to Kennel. Kennel is located in Dempsey Hill. They were reported in the Straits Times before, and I went there to collaborate with them on my idea. And what I learned from them is that in the idea of greatness, that greatness itself is not just a measure of your education and not a measure about how good you are in school. Greatness is also a measure of how well you're able to innovate, how well you're able to create something that people have not created before. And that sparked me to actually be bold and be confident and bring forth my idea. And slowly I gained my connections, and I was invited to Singapore Management University for their entrepreneurship night. And at that night itself, I met many venture capitalists and angel investors. And at that place, I still remember that I felt very lost because I didn't really know what to say, and I was only given 1 minute to present. But the good thing was that in that 1 minute, I managed to convince everyone that it was a really good idea. And that really boosted my confidence in building up this product, and boosted my confidence that, hey, you know what? It's not just about having the grades. It's also about having the flair in speaking. It's also about having an innovative spirit. Yeah. And as I was going about this, I neglected a lot of my studies. I neglected my literature, my history, my econs, and my mathematics. And as I received my A-levels paper, I remember telling myself, Ben, you're not going to do well. You're just going to get all C's and just going to end up nowhere. And when I approached Mr. David Koo at that point of time, yeah, he was looking at me and he was like, Ben, this is it. And as I took the paper, I realized that I didn't do that badly, but neither did I do too well. And it wasn't as I expected. I expected 3 A's for my A-levels, and I only got 1. At the point of time, I was quite depressed, and just like the person in this umbrella, I felt lost. I felt that what was so great about having all these things, what was so great about being an entrepreneur, going out there, meeting the new people, innovating in new ideas, collaborating with people on new things. What was so great about just starting your best and getting all the A's. And lastly, I leave you with these 10 questions that I want you to think about. In Singapore, we live in a society that prides education and examination grades as a hallmark of achievement. And with such a mindset, it is no wonder that we base the quality of a person based upon the examination grades that he has. And we uphold these people, and we make them the role models in our lives and to our children as well. But the thing is that being all that great, even in innovation, in creating a company, even if you get all the straight A's in the world, I would dare say that that doesn't make you a great person. And I'll end off these 10 questions that will prove my point why. The first 5. Name the 5 wealthiest people in the world. Are you able to name all 5 of them? Name the top 5 news stories 5 years ago. Name 10 presidents or leaders of the biggest countries in the world. Name 10 people who have actually won the Nobel or Pulitzer Prize. Name the last half dozen Academy Award winners for Best Actor or Actress. And these people, they are great people. They appear in the newspapers almost every single day. Their Twitter feed has 2 million followers. But the thing is that you aren't unable to name all the people there. And unless you are really interested in perhaps the Nobel Prize or you follow the Academy Awards, then you're able to actually know these people. But the thing is that these people, although how great they are, how magnificent they are, you can't remember their names because on this one fact. Because they did not make a personal impact in your life. And I want you to compare that with these other 5 questions. First, list a few teachers who helped you in your journey through school, and then dedicate this to the teachers sitting at the back who have built me up throughout my entire GC life. Name 3 friends who have helped you through a difficult time. The third question, name 5 people who have taught you something worthwhile. The fourth question, think of a few people who have made you feel appreciated and special. And the last question, think of 5 people you enjoy spending time with. And in these 5 questions, you can answer them. Because these people, they are real in your life. You can come up with them at the back of your mind. Don't even need to think about it. And I challenge you today. This is the idea of greatness. Greatness is not having all the examination grades. It's not building up the next Apple or Google. It is being a friend to the people around you. It is caring for them. It is having empathy for your friends, even when they have rejected you. And I challenge you to be part of these people. And when other people actually answer these 5 questions, I hope that your name will be found inside. Thank you.